Hey guys, this is me Karthika Kantwal from Apex FinServe, and I'm back with your daily dose of charts for tomorrow's trading session as well as the index outlook for tomorrow's trading session. Now, today's the fall was quite sudden and quite abrupt in nature, and a lot of people might have had big losses, but luckily. Not luckily, but rather, just because of our analysis, we were on the right side of things. We were short when things fell, and we made good money. In fact, even on the long side, we had a couple of trades that hit the targets. Escorts, which was one that was present in the watch list, where we had a long, and that gave us a good neat target hit. Apart from that, when I talk about the indices, the Bank Nifty in particular, Bank Nifty, we had a really good green trading session. I personally got about close to 430, 440 points on the index. So all things considered, this is probably one of the best Mondays that we have had in a really long time. So it was a good trading session, and I hope the same goes for you too. And let's just ensure that tomorrow's is even better with the analysis that we have. Starting with the first one on the equity side, as usual, that we have is PL, Piramal Enterprises. Now, here we are going to go for a short trade. Pretty much everything everywhere is going to be a short. If you look at phase analysis right now, every previous swing high has been broken, swing low has been broken, or new lower low formations have been started. So everything is going to be sell at a pullback. Similar logic applies to all the trades that we have here. Starting with the first one, PL, we are going to go for a short at 1290. As you can see, it was a resistance in the past, broken on the upside, price came down, acted as support a couple of times, and then again was broken today. So what we have here is a short at 1290, stop loss at 1305, ideal targets 1% on the downside. Now moving on to the next one on the list that we have is MFSL, Max Financial Services. Now on this one, just like everything else, as you can see, we have a lower low, lower high formation that is coming into place. So we are going to go short at the previous support point now, as acting as a resistance at 610, 612. Ideal targets 1% on the downside, stop loss at 620. Today's trade analysis, it's going to be pretty quick. As I said, everything just by the logics of simple phase analysis is going to be a sell on, right? So we have a lot of short positions. The next one that we have is Oro Pharma. Here again, as you can see, 810. If you remember, we took a trade here as well before on the long side, upside by above 810 if I'm not wrong, and that hit the targets. So this time we have the exact opposite of that. We are going to go short at 810, stop loss 820, ideal targets 1% on the downside. Moving on to the next one, Lupin. Now Lupin, it seemed that the up a move on Lupin would simply not end, but well, now it has ended. So we are going to go short at the previous support point where it halted at 1060 or 1060, stop loss at 1070, and ideal targets 1% on the downside. Moving on to SR Transfin. SR Transfin 650. I have we have taken trades here at multiple times. We have gone long, we have gone short under that. This time it is a simple retracement trend friendly idea, just like everything else. We are going to go short at 650, stop loss at 660, ideal targets 1% on the downside. Moving on to the next one, Apollo Hospitals. Apollo Hospitals, if you look at the very immediate swing point, then you have a higher high, but then you made the same low. So this time we are going to go for a short near the retracement or the midpoint of this lower low swing leg, and stop loss going above the previous swing high at 1870. You might even see that some sort of an incomplete HNS information, but incomplete, so we can't give you that reasoning. So we are going to go for a short at 1850, stop loss 1870, ideal targets 1% on the downside. Moving on to the not the final one, we have one more, Escorts. Now Escorts too, we are going to go for a short position. You can see this has been a good strong supply level in the past of 1235, 1236. So we are going to go for a short position at 1236, ideal targets 1% on the downside, and stop loss at 1250. Moving on to the final equity script that we have for tomorrow, that is Just Dial, a very regular member of the watch list. This trade too we have taken multiple times in the past. We have been trading Just Dial ever since, not ever since, but since back when it was in this range, 375, 360 or 370 to 385. Yeah. Now this time we are going to go for a short position at 375. Good strong support level, broken on the downside, acted as resistance before. Expecting this same pattern to repeat again. Broken on the downside, should act as resistance again, and we should have a quick target made trade here. So we're going to go for a short at 375, stop loss at 380. Ideal targets 1% on the downside. Now moving on to my favorite part, the indices, and starting with Nifty as usual. Starting with the charts, the technical side of things. So Nifty, I told you guys before, if I remember correctly, this range of 11,440 till 11,400 to 500 was the range, if I'm not wrong. That range direction जहाँ भी break होता है, you can go for a conservative entry on that same direction. If you had followed that, then you would have had a hell of a day trading today. You would have gotten, you would have made really nice money today if you were on the short side of things, and you would have lost really nice money today if you were on the long side of things. Now for tomorrow, we have an immediate support at nearest support at 11,200 and nearest resistance at 11,300 320 wala zone. Now the thing is, this same range is reflected in the option chain to 11,200 to 300. Of course, since it is a big and immediate fall, the option chain position that is built as of now is not really going to reflect strong sentiments. But still, from what we have on the option chain, 11,300 is very strong with 1.5 million added contracts, whereas 11,200 is not strong with just 15,000 added contracts. If that is broken tomorrow, just like this is broken, as you can see very strongly, if that is broken and on the second candle retracement, if I will not be shy to take a quick 100-point fall trade on Nifty. If that is being sustained, I again will not be shy to take a 100-point upside trade on Nifty. This is the range that Nifty is going to play in. I believe it should keep that range for a day or two, or retrace till 11,350, 11,360, because the fall is pretty big, almost to 250 points, and it was news induced, so can't really say that it was an organic sell-off from the markets. Now talking about talking about the index from the option chain perspective, we have resistance immediate at 11,300, as I said, 1.5 million added contracts. Significant resistance 11,400, 1.7 million added contracts. Immediate support 11,200, 15,000 added contracts. Significant support 11,000 with just 92,000 added contracts. Now of course, keeping in mind such a vicious sell-off, put writers will not be feeling very confident at all. In fact, if I was a put writer today in the morning, I would have been running around my house to cover my positions, and that seems to be the case with most of the strikes on Nifty, especially the put side of things. Even the PCL that reflects a bearish sentiment of 0.93, but bearish sentiment might be because people are expecting that the news effect is going to carry on. Whether that is the case or not, that remains to be seen tomorrow. From the charts, I would say 11,200, 300 ka range is the decisive range. If Nifty is going to play sideways, if the opening is not strong or particularly weak, you can play in the range. If it is breaking, you can go for range break trades too. Moving on to my favorite one, Bank Nifty. Now Bank Nifty, we had this same zone of 21,900 ish yesterday too, and I told you guys that if that breaks, we have the next stop at 21,600, 500, 400. But the intensity with which it fell, that was not something that I was expecting, and even myself, I had to take multiple entries today to reach that total of 420, 430 points. So it was not like I shorted and I knew that वो गिरेगा 400-500 points. It's not like that. I took a short trade, I took a long trade in the beginning first. The zone that we had yesterday was a bit over here, so since this was not being broken, I took a long trade on the upside, 21,900 to I believe 22,100 from that this very candle, and from that point onwards it was a waiting game for me, because if you draw a trend line at this point, it becomes a descending triangle, which is a bearish continuation pattern. So we had a small descending triangle at that point, and after that I was simply waiting. If that breaks on the downside, I can catch another 100 points. So I went short under the zone at 800 ish, and then covered at 700, and once it reached the other zone at 500, I thought okay, it might consolidate, but no, it didn't, and it tried to break that too, and that's where I caught another 120-ish points. So overall, I had 400 points on Bank Nifty just by the zone breaks on the downside, both of them, not three. Now for tomorrow on Bank Nifty, we have two zones, 21,500 and 21,100. Whichever side breaks is going to be the direction if you are a conservative trader. Now for just like Nifty, I expect this to have some retracement, because this sell-off is very intense, and we can see some buyback happening soon in the markets, because this selling pressure is not really sustainable. Of course, news induced there, so who knows, tomorrow we might have a worse news in the opening session and we might plummet down to 21,000 also. But let's see what happens. In fact, it all depends on the opening. Gap up opening is के आसपास 21,500 के आसपास, you can go for shorts. Of course, take your take it with a pinch of salt. Take your confirmation, take your own sweet time. Gap down है 21,100 के आसपास, you can go for a long position for the gap fill too. Talking about the option chain, we have immediate resistance at 21,500 with 284,000 added contracts. Significant resistance at 21,800 with 263,000 added contracts. On the support side, we have immediate support at 21,000 with total 631,000 added contracts. No positive change in open interest. And we have significant support at 2,500, pretty far away, with again total 632,000 added contract, not added, standing contracts. Change is not positive. The PCR for BNF yesterday was 1, today it's 1.06. So just like today, the option buyers are expecting the index to fall flat on its face. Whether it does or not remains to be seen tomorrow. Now these are all the charts that I had to discuss with you guys for today. I hope you guys had a really nice start to the week. As usual, if you want any of these charts, you can always check out the Telegram channel at @ApexFinServe, Instagram, YouTube too. We share everything everywhere for you guys. And if you like the content that we are posting on the channel, the weekend series, the daily analysis videos and everything else, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Well, comment something nice if you want to, and don't really miss out pressing that bell notification icon, because you want to watch our videos, so you might as well get that notification. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a really nice green trading session tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.